Yo, YouTube, time for a card show video. Thanks for joining me. This is the Spring KI Convention Center show in Green Bay. Let's check it out. Hey, thanks for joining me for this show. I did set up, that was my tables on the left there. I was waiting for my partner Charlie to come set his stuff up. I apologize for my voice. I did catch a cold somehow over the weekend. So I've been dealing with that, but I wanted to get this video out sooner than later, so I'm doing a cold voiceover. Anyway, funny story about this show was as I was setting up, I could see a bunch of hustle and bustle at some value box tables on the way far wall, which I'm walking towards now, from the entrance and where I was set up. And I thought, I should probably go check this out before it gets too far. The show isn't even open yet, so these are just dealers digging. And I saw some pretty good piles starting to be created by some of these other buyers, so I had to go check it out. Now, I don't know how well you can see those signs, but they say football, 10 cents. There's Hall of Famers, there's rookies, there's all kinds of stuff. So I started grabbing some stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't get the best camera angle to show you all the cards, but I think you can get the gist of it. First stack I grabbed was all Marshall Faulk stuff, so it was somewhat organized, which is kind of nice when you're digging through a 10-cent box. And they were all stars and Hall of Famers and stuff like that. Usually that's not something you'd find in a dime box. So I decided this would probably be worth some effort. Like I said, I was still waiting for Charlie to get there to set up. My stuff was set up. I just brought my some of my better stuff. I just took it along with me over to the table, so I wasn't leaving it sit out in the open. But yeah, so I started digging, and it was a lot of Marshall Faulk, so which I'm not really into buying. Maybe a couple of rare inserts or something like that I would pick up, but not the player exactly I was looking for. But it was a good start. It did show me that there was probably some decent stuff in here. I did have the dealer in the shot there. He does have a Star Wars shirt on, so that automatically made him 20% cooler for me. But anyway, you can't see his face. Again, my camera work isn't so great wearing a chest camera. But that was the dealer that had the 10-cent baseball box at the Timber Rattler show that I hit pretty hard and got some really good stuff on. So I was excited to see he had football and basketball and, a lot more this time. So I started digging. I got into the Reggie White stuff, some other Packers. So I was just kind of thumbing through, just trying to see if there was going to be something worth my time. I took some gold ultra parallels and some metal stuff. Just took some small stuff to get started. I probably should have grabbed a little bit more of this. You don't see a lot of Reggie White inserts, but sort of the thing that always happens. Those are the score premiums. Those are really tough to get. Not the best players, but super hard cards. So I grabbed those. But yeah, could I have bought out all the boxes? I don't know. Maybe. I didn't really want that much inventory out of that. I really wanted to. Some of the advantage to digging through boxes instead of just buying giant lots on eBay, which is basically what you'd be doing if you're buying a box at a table, is I don't necessarily want to deal with the ones I don't feel like has a great market. The whole gain to doing it at a show is to be able to pick and choose. So that's what I did. Alright, fast forward a bit here. I finally got kind of through the generic rows, and I got to a row of all Favre stuff. And you can kind of see what I'm picking there. A lot of it's inserts, parallels, just stuff you don't find for 10 cents. So I grabbed some cheesehead stuff, some Bowman foil. Again, some more inserts.
I'll do voiceover.
Some base tops. A lot of base tops sells well, and I run short on that, so I picked up a few of those. Again, at 10 cents, I'm not really going to go wrong on any of them.
Oh, numbered?
My normal
Oh,
margin
SPX ones,
or
yeah, 98
best
SPX.
buy, if you will, on cards
98
for Favre
SPX,
is
yeah,
17
those are
cents.
numbered.
So getting anything at 10 cents is less than I would normally try to target when buying like online lots or
No, it's just
random
every
stuff.
card is numbered, so
And
it's
in
nice.
this case,
The
it's not only is it only
players
10
are worth
cents,
something.
but again, I can pick
You
what
know,
I
if you have
want
like,
out of there. I skipped a
Montanas
lot of
and
the
Favres and Youngs and that kind of
collector's
stuff.
choice and just stuff that I had a bunch of that doesn't really sell that
So you have to
well.
kind of dig them a little bit.
And I
But
figured I'd
I
move
grabbed some of
past
the
some of
white
that
stuff,
and try to stick to
stuff
the
here
stuff that I really,
from
really
that
wanted to
set.
grab out of there.
What the hell there is one of mine. Yeah, right outside the door. Yeah, I was actually waiting for my other guy, who's my other table mate there, and he's not here yet. And I said, well, I can't wait any longer. I got to go dig some boxes to feed the addiction.
How many extra cards do you have at home that you got to put on eBay?
So I actually ran into the guy sitting
Probably
next to me here
another, I
digging.
don't know,
He's
5 or
was actually
6,000.
one of the sponsors of the show.
I
Him and
got
his wife
about
sponsor the show, so that was kind of
20,000
fun.
listed now, so
He of course was in there early,
they're moving.
being a sponsor, and he was just looking for some cool stuff.
I do.
Not that involved in cards, but he was definitely interested in why I was interested in what I do. So we talked quite a bit, a little bit about flipping cards and YouTube and different
Well,
things. So it was really cool. He's a super nice
I'm
guy.
fortunate because pump in the new information and take a photo and upload it. So I can get a listing up in, I don't know, 45 seconds, 50 seconds, something like that. Yeah. But buying is more fun than selling, so I never totally catch up. But it's a great little business because it's endless. Yeah, I mean, there's no way it's ever gonna go away. Like, you'll always have work to do, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, mostly my customers are, yes. I sell, a lot of lower end stuff, so it's going to people who just want it. Yeah, right. And that's the other thing. I like the diversity, and yeah, it protects me from the downside of the market. Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure there's some people that speculate on some stuff. I rip a little bit of wax here and there, so I get some. I got a bunch of Purdy stuff, so dabble in some of that stuff, but yeah, it's definitely not my focus. Oh, do you? Oh, thank you. Yeah, wasn't sure if anybody would be interested in what I do, but yeah, that's kind of what I thought. My channel's a little different than other stuff. Right, and my whole goal originally for starting the channel was I started watching a lot of those channels when they first came out, and I was like, this isn't real. This isn't how the market actually works. And I'm like, somebody needs to make a channel so these people aren't getting screwed. And so that was kind of my goal. And yeah, and like I said, it's gone really well. So man, he's got some good stuff in these dime boxes. Damn.
All right, skip ahead a bit here. You can see my pile is getting pretty crazy. Look at that pile going there. I had to take a small break because Charlie got there, so I had to go get him over to our table. But as you may have guessed, as soon as I got Charlie to our spot, I headed right back there to dig some more. This is still about 40 minutes or so maybe before the show opened, so I wanted to use the rest of my quote-unquote setup time to get through these boxes and get as much as I could. So now I start digging in the Barry Sanders box. So now I'm trying to go through my bigger hitters, if you will. Guys that I sell very regularly that are easily worth a dime on just about any card to flip. Some early
Man, you can make so much money off of
action pack stuff, some inserts.
that. People don't get it.
Action pack berry stuff does really
Again,
well.
why I started the channel, because
I grabbed a lot of that.
which is fine. Now, see, this guy doesn't need to make money off of these cards. He kept
Yeah,
the big
and just
cards
kept
out of it.
digging, and as I found stuff I thought I could sell, I just kept adding to the pile.
Right. And he doesn't have to maintain the bulk. So then we're the next level where we take it and get it to somebody who actually wants it and get the profit out of that. At least that's how I view it.
You want to use them or not?
No, not Eric Rat, no.
It's just the guy.
Those are inserts, pay dirt. Yeah, it's all about the player for me. Gotta be flippable. 'Cause none of this stuff I need for my PC, so my PC is bigger, way bigger stuff. Okay, there's some more Dion's. Take that berry. Yeah, I want Brady stuff. If you see any Brady stuff.
Sure, that's in the 50 cent one, yeah?
Oh, there's 50 centers?
Or no, what are them?
10. Those are all 10.
So,
Yeah.
that's right. I thought they were 50.
It was like, yeah, if this is what he puts in his 10s, what the hell does he put in his 50s? I'd hit that hard. That'd be good stuff. Dion, love this.
Eventually, I got to a point where the dealer gave me a 2-row shoebox, so I could start kind of putting my stuff together in that.
Oh my god, look at all these Emmets.
Nobody hit the basketball.
No, look at this card. Walter Payton and Emmett Smith insert. How can you not make money on that?
I'm gonna move.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, you want to get to my other side? I left some meat on the bone over there.
What?
I left some meat on the bone over here.
Is it really? I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm looking for though.
Well, that I can't help you with. You got to decide what you want, I guess. Are you collecting or?
Yeah, I sort of.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually. Do something like you do, but not right now.
Yeah. It's time consuming. It's like anything. Yeah. Take it.
Okay, so this is you. I'm gonna move over.
Yep. Yeah. Let me just grab these. But once you get it started, it kind of goes on its own, and I get up at 4 a.m. and I pack orders and list some shit, and then I go to work. Because I still like to keep it somewhat as a hobby, so I don't do it as a full-time job.
What are these? These are all.
I kind of sorted them as players and stuff, so the sleeve ones are 10 cents, like the rest. Okay. The top loaders are 50.
Ooh, we do have 50 centers in there, huh? Okay, I'll have to hit that next. Hey, you got some good deals on stuff, dude.
Yeah, I figured that would be popular.
Were you at the Timber Rattler show?
I was.
And you had a dime box there?
Yeah, just baseball.
I hammered that one too, so. Yeah, got some really good deals out of stuff there. You must buy a lot of collections, huh?
Well, this is all just one collection.
Oh. Man, this is unbelievable. I'm gonna run out of battery. I'm starting to get a little pickier. Yep, that. Yep. I don't know what that is, but I'll buy it.
I know on some of the stuff I'm grabbing, I didn't get them in the camera frame too well, so I apologize for that, but I will be making a pickups video that I'll post in a day or two from now, so you'll see everything that I got eventually.
Yeah, I was gonna bring those. Oops.
So once I felt like I got what I needed out of the dime football boxes, I decided to go to the 50-cent top-loaded cards. But honestly, I felt like I was finding better stuff in the 10-cent boxes. So, because, yeah, there's maybe some more rare parallels or something like that in those, but they were all of nothing really worth it players. So I didn't feel like, there was going to be as much market for stuff like that. So back to the dime boxes I go. I'm going to pick up the last of my pile here that I had set out that I didn't get into the box. I'll get those stuck in there. And then I'm going to take a look at some basketball. I don't buy a ton of basketball. 10-cent boxes are a good chance for me to look at some new players. I do know there was some Rodman in there, which does very well for me, so I wanted to look through those. And, maybe some Iverson, I don't know. See what else was in there and pick up some basketball.
Do you have any Kobe Bryant in any of this? Do you know? I mean, you kind of sorted by player, so I didn't know if you knew there was.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton of Kobe's.
Okay.
Most of his stuff would be $1 or up.
Yeah, okay. Just figured I'd ask before I dig through the whole thing.
Yeah. He'd be in the dollar section, I think.
Okay.
It's kind of struggling a bit in the basketball boxes to really find stuff that I wanted. A lot of them were players that I don't really buy, that I didn't think would sell very well, so I was kind of skipping through. But eventually I did find some stuff I needed.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Karl Malone, nobody paid.
Oh, he's got Rodman stuff, though. Still a ton of Rodman. Exactly.
I didn't see any Rodman.
There's a whole stack right here.
You found some?
Yeah.
Sean Kemp, I see a pile up here. And the number 1 for you.
Yeah, I'll take Rodman stuff sells really well. Especially in a Lakers uniform, believe it or not. He only played for the Lakers, I think, for a year. Yep. I got a lot of nice baseball stuff, but I was happy to get other things. Is that? Yeah, but not Rasheed Wallace. No.
Have a good one. Nice talking.
Yeah, you too. Hey, buddy. Oh my God, I killed the dime boxes. This is the guy where I got all the dime baseball stuff from. Now he's got a ton of football and basketball too. So.
Are you set up in your usual spot?
Yeah, I'm right out there. So I'm just gonna check out here and then get back. Mind if I set that there? Hope not, because I already did.
Unfortunately, my battery ran out right before I checked out, but I got all of that box for 40 bucks. I did count the cards and it was 632 cards. So essentially I paid 6 cents per card. Crazy good deal. It's time for a quick drink break. Right as the show was starting, I had Charlie at the tables watching, so I grabbed a couple sodas for us. The hotel little coffee bar place was very slow, so it took me a little while, but eventually got what we needed, and we were ready to kick off the show.
Just these two. And I get a 5 and 5 ones back.
This was also an opportunity for me to get some small bills. I never remember to get cash ahead of time. I don't carry cash on me, so I always get cash before the show, and of course an ATM doesn't give you $1 bills. But we got some out of this deal to get us started.
Thank you so much.
Got a tip from my buddy Batman Cards. Shout out to him. That the guy in the corner with some soccer stuff, which I think he was literally the only guy with soccer there that I saw. Granted, I was just walking through quickly since I was set up, but he said he had Ohtani stuff for $1. Ohtani is a target of mine. As I've mentioned in other videos, sells really well. I think he's a unique player that will always have a place in history in Major League Baseball. They literally had to change a rule for him because of, I think it was coming out to pitch, but he was coming out as a pitcher, but he was still allowed to be in the game as a designated hitter, which had never happened before. So I just think he has his unique place. He's got MVP, he's got home runs, he has all the other accolades and things to support, where he's going to end up in his career, that I believe. So I want to keep buying Ohtani stuff. Anyway, I figured I might as well dig the soccer, since of course I'm interested in that. Didn't really see anything in there that I was interested in. It said stars and rookies, but not really. Alright, so I'm at the $1 baseball box now. I'm going to dig this for some Ohtani stuff. I did find a couple of Mickey Mantles in here, modern Mickey Mantles, as you can see there. And I'm always interested in those. They do pretty well. I enjoy having them around. I think they're, for $1, they're a pretty good buy. But one thing that I didn't care for was the dealer. He didn't have a very good salesperson approach to things. And I was going to put together a pretty good sized stack of stuff. And he said he doesn't make any deals. It's whatever, that's the price. And I just thought that wasn't a very good sales tactic, and it doesn't really work for me as a buyer. So I actually ended up putting everything back that I picked out of his boxes and just walked away. Sometimes you have to do that.
That's what brothers are for, man.
As I mentioned earlier in the video, I was set up at this show. I didn't show a lot of footage of my dealings with customers,
Finding some good stuff.
just because I just had the 10-cent boxes. I did sell a lot of cards, probably 60, 70 bucks worth of 10-cent cards, which was pretty good considering I didn't really have anything good in them. They were literally things I couldn't sell for like a quarter or two. So they used to be my quarter boxes. They'd been dug through several times, so I decided to just drop them to a dime, try to clear out some stuff that wasn't moving even for a quarter, and move on from there, refill the boxes with some other stuff. But I did run into a customer that I had a really interesting conversation with, and I thought I would show some of that.
Cars just all
Nice.
favorite players and stuff.
Heck yeah.
Cheap little $10 frame. Showcase what I got.
That's a great way to do it. I mean, you could even just tape them in there. You know,
Yeah,
like
I
it
was gonna
doesn't
put
matter.
top loaders and
Yeah.
put like painter's tape or something
Sure.
on the back so they
Yep.
stick in there.
So I collect non-sport packs, like
Yeah.
80s packs, 70s packs. And I have them on a display in my wall, and that's what I did. Is I took top loads, the thick ones, you know, and put the pack in it, and then I used the those like strips, you sticky strips you'd put like, you know, on like if you wanted to put something on the wall. They make Velcro ones, so I just put the Velcro on one side and then the Velcro on my little display case. So that way I can pop them off anytime I want. I can change them around or.
Yeah, that's actually not bad.
Yeah, so that worked out really well too. It's not super cheap because those stick-up things are kind of expensive. It's like $20 for like 50 of them or something. But
no, I was looking online. I was thinking about trying to find them in bulk because I just got an apartment and I have a bunch of like, picture frames and stuff and like.
Better than putting holes in the walls, you know, and
sure.
fixing that later. Yeah, absolutely. A trick I found was they make them in different sizes, right?
Yeah.
So I bought the really long ones and then I cut them into thirds because I only need a little, you know. It's
that's what my dad was doing. He
yeah.
was like,
So they're the same
the
same price, but you get 3 of them out of it. So yeah, so that worked out really well for me too. Because I don't need like the little tab that pulls it off the wall and all, you know. Because I'm just gonna Velcro it off. If I ever take it off the top load, I can just peel it off, you know. Yeah, it worked really well. And then it's kind of fun because I can kind of rearrange the design every once in a while. Like, you know, if I want to put all the Super Mario stuff up, I do that, or Ghostbusters, whatever. You can really move them around. It's totally customizable.
So the last video I got here is just sort of a walk around the outside main hall tables. Just kind of show you the activity. It was a extremely busy show. It was 82 degrees, which, if you don't know anything about Green Bay weather, an 82-degree day in April is quite something. So we were kind of worried that nobody would come because everybody would want to be outside, but that wasn't the case at all. It was kind of fun. I ended up not realizing it until I watched this video, following around a little Messi here, which was kind of cool. He's one of my favorite all-time soccer players. It did so well in that those earlier dime boxes, it kind of wrecked the rest of my experience for the day because I knew I wasn't going to come up with anything better than that. So I just thought I would walk around and take a look.
I got the GM, sponsored GM backpack. Right on. We got it for our first day.
And it's got the film on it. Yeah. Rare to find stores.
This is a regular dealer at this show, and he's pretty much always at this spot, kind of kitty corner from where I'm set up. And I bought some non-sport packs from him a few shows ago. He doesn't really have any of the good packs left, but he did have a little box row here of non-sport cards, so I thought I would take a look at some of those.
A lot going on in that cart. Yeah, it's still okay. Right. It was kind of an exclusive giant. What were you saying about that? No, you're fine.
Yeah, it's like a fine line of like being friendly and not sitting on your phone. Yeah, that's the.
He had some very strange things in there, some hotel keys, a physical key, I think, at one point. There was a pin in there. Very strange. I'm not quite sure where he got a lot of those things from or why he thought there'd be a market for them, but I don't know. I had fun looking through them anyway. I did find one card in here that you should see in just a couple minutes that I did pick up.
Pretty close to comps. We just comped everything.
Oh, yeah, well, go look at,
No. We were in Stevens Point last week.
Oh, gotcha. Do they have a lot of car shows up there?
Stevens Point, they have one month every month or so.
Okay.
Really nice. Little show. Last week.
you know, Jack,
Completely jammed. For a while, there nobody could walk around. There was just that many people.
Right.
So it was cool.
At least that's a bit more space and everything. Yeah.
It is.
They
They said that one was really a lot of people. Not very good, so.
No, I wasn't. We didn't really get anything there. Actually, did you get anything there? For Rattlers? No, I didn't think so.
See, now you gotta be old school. I'm not calling you old. But you gotta be old school to appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, man. I like that little Michael Jordan.
Think how many rebounds that man would have now.
Even like any of those players. If you watch like Michael Jordan, like his little docu-series or whatever, like hearing all their stories and everything like that. He's funny though. I think he's hilarious.
Oh, he is hilarious, isn't he?
I've heard some wild stories about
Well, remember the book that came out? I still have his book in my bookcase. There's a book about his life.
He's got a lot to write about.
And actually, on the cover, standing on the back.
Hey, no way, I think we did see that online.
Yeah, I'll go to Amazon and
That's funny. John Hudson.
Who's this?
Yeah, all right, thank you very much.
Paul
Come
Hollister.
back for $2, okay? Would you like to have? Okay, thank you very much.
Is that stuff you down there?
Yeah.
Okay. You want for $1?
One per dollar. Good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Would you like an envelope for that?
Do, I've got enough, thank you.
Thank you.
I did make one final significant sale. My fellow Favre collector Brad stopped by, and I always have some good stuff behind my table that I don't put out. He found some things he wanted. We made a deal, so I'm happy to get these over to Brad's collection. Thank you very much. That's it for this video.